On the way, kids are getting redirected from graduation towards prison. It's to support the prison industrial complex, or to foster another way for prisons to keep on going. So, how many of you? All right, let me see. How many of you know what Hmong is? From watching Gran Torino or something? No, but I'm Hmong. So I grew up in the Twin Cities, and growing up, first generation, I was caught between two cultures, American culture and my original culture, where my parents brought me up in. So I'm kind of caught in between and go to school. They wanted me to go to school and do great in school, which I could do. But then a lot of these other social skills they didn't really teach me, so they just kind of left it up to school to teach me. School's pretty good at teaching education and stuff, but some of the social stuff it's not really their job, or is it? When you think about it, school nowadays they want school to do everything, teach the morals, teach the kids what's right, what's wrong, and along with that, teach them how to function as people and how to treat other people properly, I guess, Which, as before, it used to be everybody kind of contributed and it was a community type of thing. So now, these days, parents are doing less and less. So my parents, they came to the United States and they worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs just to get us by. So they didn't spend too much time with me or my siblings. So growing up, I didn't have much of a sense of self or understanding what it was to be a man. School was great, but interacting with people and understanding what it's like to be a man, or I didn't have a role model, a male role model. So come around age 11, 12, 13, puberty's hitting me and hormones are raging, so I'm looking around and trying to find, myself. And lo and behold, I seen all the cool kids in school, what are they doing? Some of them are smoking, drinking, doing drugs, going out partying, stealing cars. Some of them are gang members, and they got all the girls, and I'm idolizing that, Something that's true no matter where you go is people are attracted to what they see, So I grew up, I seen that, and I'm like, wow, they're living the life. They're the cool kids. I want to do that, so, I'm doing pretty well in school, A's and B's, or, as well as can be. And then I'm like, forget all that education stuff, You're doing the fun stuff. So I threw all that out, and, started following that group of friends, and which included, smoking cigarettes, started doing, smoking weed, and going on to more hardcore drugs. And then, from there, you gotta supply your need. So, all right, start stealing cars, stealing stereo equipment, and then along with that, you're also getting into conflicts with other groups of men over dumb stuff, and it's a lot of violence, beat a whole bunch of people up just for senseless reasons. Now that I think back about it, it was really, really senseless, and I don't really remember why we did some of the things we did, but we did them, It was a whole group mentality thing. But that kind of led me towards the whole criminal system and the juvenile system. So that kind of ties into the school to prison pipeline by saying, the amount of times that a child goes to the office correlates with, all right, how the percentage that they're going to be ended up in prison. So if I go to the principal's office for, what is it, cussing, disobeying the teacher, or, you know, whatever, you name it, you know, typical child stuff. You know, kids are overactive and they have short attention spans. So they can't sit there and listen to the teacher talk too long. They got to be engaged. So teachers get upset, they send them to the office, you know, so therein begins the cycle. So where I come in there is, I was doing great at school, but I wasn't being engaged by the teachers. You know, I'm trying to find a role model. The teachers are teaching great, but, you know, to me, they weren't providing what I needed. Started ditching schools, running around with a gang and stuff, and then I got caught. My first time I encountered the law was truancy. Got sent to the truancy center, stayed there for a little bit, and then I ran off from the truancy center. They didn't catch me, but I ran off and I thought I was so slick. After that, my friends started stealing cars, you know, where it's 15, 16, you know, everybody's interested in driving and the freedom of driving. So, you know, I'm stealing cars and, you know, so happens, we get pulled over by the police and everybody runs and I'm like the last one in the car looking like, hey, where'd everybody go? You know, and I'm running out, can't run too far, you know. They got all types of squad cars surrounding the area. You know, setting a perimeter, got caught, you know, got sent home, luckily, you know, sent home, my parents chastised me, but that didn't really change much because, you know, parents aren't at home giving me the attention I need either. So, you know, they're working, I'm still searching. This whole cycle kind of perpetuates and continues and, you know, I'm learning about the streets, you know, code of conduct, how we talk about don't snitch, don't tell on anybody. You know, oh, you see that type of people? Oh, that group of guys, they're wearing that color, oh, they're with that crew. You know, you don't like them because something happened in the past, which you don't really care about, you don't understand. But, you know, you just kind of tag along and join up with them. And, you know, you start picking up a lot of things they're doing, which is ditching school, and you know, eventually I became 18 and I got tired of that because I actually dropped out of school and I found out like, man, it's pretty boring. There's nothing to do. You know, I'm sitting at home just staring at the walls and like, oh man, now I'm free, do I get a job or what? So I decided to go back and, you know, finish up with school, and I started my path towards going to college and stuff and working. But, you know, you can't function with one foot in the gang life and one foot out in college, you know. Because if you come across anybody and you're still affiliated or, you know, hang around with the same type of guys, they err on the side of, like, you're still with them. So, you know, even though I was doing pretty well, I was, you know, still having the same old problems. Going around different places, bars, clubs, fighting, getting drunk, whatnot, you know. And at that time, I didn't really trust the whole juvenile system or any type of justice system. I mean, when I got caught stealing cars, I was on probation for a while. And the whole probation thing, I just seen it like, probation officer was just, they didn't care about me. They was just doing their job. They didn't care about what I needed or, you know, what was going on in my life. They said, oh yeah, oh, you're not committing any crimes? All right, that's good, you know. Not like, oh, you know, what are you trying to explore? What are you trying to do? Nothing. So at one point I was sent to a group home in North Branch, which is by Taylor's Falls, I don't know. And at that group home, it was the same type of thing too. You know, it was ran by European, Caucasian lady, you know. They had money, they had this farm, they had this land, and the state was paying them $1,000 per child that they kept. I don't know how much they're paying right now, it might be more than that now. But basically all they did was they fed us and they made us go to school, and then they even made us build them a barn, you know, a shed.